agents, the FBI, and the Georgia State Patrol carried out what they called a work site enforcement at the Hyundai megasite in Bryan County.
America, we just witnessed the largest single site immigration enforcement operation in United States history, and it's sending shockwaves through the business world. Federal agents raided a massive Hyundai construction site in Georgia and arrested 475 workers, mostly Korean nationals, effectively shutting down a $4.3 billion project. But here's what's really wild. This isn't some random sweep. This was a month-long criminal investigation that exposed a massive network of subcontractors using illegal labor.
We're Homeland Security. We have a search warrant for the whole site. We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site right now.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly illustrates how America's immigration crisis has affected nearly every level of our economy and how the Trump administration is finally doing something about it. Let me break down what happened at this Hyundai mega site in Bryan County, Georgia. This wasn't just ICE showing up. This was a coordinated operation involving Homeland Security Investigations, FBI, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and Georgia State Patrol. Hundreds of law enforcement vehicles flooded the site.
This was not an immigration operation where agents went into the premises, rounded up folks, and put them on buses. This has been a multi-month criminal investigation where we have developed evidence, conducted interviews, gathered documents, and presented that evidence to the court in order to obtain a judicial search warrant.
Workers inside were filming as agents took control of the entire site. You can see people being detained, some crying and screaming, and others quiet and scared. But here's what makes this different from typical immigration raids. This was part of a criminal investigation into unlawful employment practices, not just immigration violations.
475 people detained by immigration officials at a Hyundai manufacturing site in Elabel, Georgia, Thursday, just west of Savannah. Department of Homeland Security officials say this was part of an ongoing criminal investigation into allegations of unlawful employment practices and other serious federal crimes.
Special Agent Stephen Schrank made it crystal clear. This operation underscores our commitment to protect jobs for Americans, ensuring a level playing field for businesses that comply with the law, safeguarding an integrity of our economy and protecting workers from exploitation. So who exactly got arrested? 475 people, and here's the breakdown that's gonna shock you. The majority were Korean nationals, but they weren't all here the same. Some illegally crossed the border, some came through visa waiver programs but were prohibited from working, and others had visas but overstayed them.
Of those, as I've previously mentioned, 475 were illegally present in the United States or in violation of their presence in the United States, working unlawfully, who have entered through a variety of different means into the United States.
Now here's where it gets interesting from a business perspective. These workers weren't directly employed by Hyundai. They were working for what agents described as a network of subcontractors and subcontractors for subcontractors. It's like layers of protection for big companies.
So the employees worked for a variety of different companies that were on the site. It was not just the parent company, but also subcontractors.
This is the subcontractor game. The big corporations keep their hands clean while subcontractors do the dirty work of hiring illegal labor. But here's where the story gets diplomatically messy. South Korea is not happy about this. Their foreign ministry voiced concerns and regret over the incident, saying individuals' rights should not be unfairly infringed upon.
More than 24 people detained are South Korean. The country's foreign ministry voicing, quote, concern and regret over the incident at the plant, which is run by South Korean company.
Think about this from South Korea's perspective. They pledged massive investments in American infrastructure, and now their workers are sitting in detention facilities. Most of these 475 people were transported to the Folkestone detention facility, and they're being processed based on individual circumstances. This Hyundai plant was supposed to be part of a $12.6 billion investment in Georgia, the largest economic economic development project in the state's history. It's a joint venture between Hyundai and LG's Energy Solutions to build electronic vehicle batteries. Construction was supposed to be complete by the end of this year. And here's what makes this operation unprecedented. This wasn't a typical immigration sweep. HSI spent months building a criminal case. They developed evidence, conducted interviews, gathered documents, and presented everything to a court to get search warrants.
This has been ongoing throughout this year. This, in fact, was the largest single-site enforcement operation in the history of Homeland Security Investigations.
Agent Schrank revealed they got tips from community members and former workers. They've been conducting immigration operations throughout Georgia where arrested individuals told them they worked at this site. This was a methodological investigation, not a random one. And get this, they're still investigating potential labor trafficking. When asked about it, Agent Schrank said, "That is something that is always part of our investigation. We're doing employment investigations. It's certainly something we'll be looking for." But here's the reality. If you're working illegally in the United States, you are breaking the law, regardless of whether you consider yourself a criminal. Now let's talk about what this really means for American business and foreign investment. When you shut down a $4.3 billion project overnight, you're sending a message to every foreign investor. Your money is welcome, but your operations might be raided. The Department of Justice's mission here is clear. Reduce illegal employment and prevent employers from gaining unfair advantage by hiring unauthorized workers and exploiting those workers. But the execution creates a massive conflict between immigration enforcement and economic development. If I'm a foreign company looking to invest in America right now, I'm asking some serious questions. Can my project get shut down overnight? Are my workers safe from raids? What happens to my stock price when federal agents show up? And how do I protect my investment from policy conflicts? This sends a complicated message. We want your investment, but we're going to enforce our laws regardless of economic consequences. America, this raid exposes a fundamental contradiction in our approach to immigration and economic policy. On one hand, we're encouraging billions of dollars in foreign investment and job creation. On the other hand, we're conducting the largest immigration enforcement operation in history on those same projects. Look, I support our immigration laws. Laws are laws. But when you have 475 illegal workers on one construction site and nobody in management claims they knew about it, come on. Either the companies knew and looked the other way because it was cheaper, or our system is so broken that this many people can work illegally without anybody noticing. The Trump administration is sending a clear message. We're done with catch and release. We're done with looking the other way. And we're done treating immigration law like a suggestion. But this also shows the real cost of enforcement: billions in economic development and thousands of jobs. The question is, can we enforce immigration law while still attracting the foreign investment we need to compete with China? This raid suggests we're prioritizing law enforcement, which we should, over economic development. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.